2 days project. Buick, I think it's a 2.4. It'd be running rough. The oil smells like gas, and it does this. It runs on. I am just going to make a guess it's injectors. I think the injectors are leaking. So I'm going to tear into this. Let's start taking parts off. Hey, let's start ripping this thing apart. Mass air, get that out of the way. Man, they got a lot of bolts holding the air cleaner lid on. I don't know what that is about. It is 1 o'clock. Part store closes at 3. Car was supposed to be here yesterday. Then it was supposed to be here at 12. Just saying. Okay. Oh yeah, this thing stinks like fuel. Phew! It's got to be the injectors. What do we got? Hey, that looks sort of new. Okay. This is the beauty I need to get off here. Let me take a look at it for a little bit and figure out what I need to do. Okay, lots of connectors. Lots of connectors that need to come off here. Yeah. It's going on to an easier one. I'm used to Ford connectors, not this GM stuff. Okay, there's that. And then I'm going to have to take off the throttle body because there's a hose here that I need to get a clamp on, and it appears to be a plastic connector that it's on. So I don't want to break that connector. What do we got going on here? Come on, I slid this back. I'm sure the GM guys are laughing their ass off right now. Okay, let me get that off. You don't need to see me struggle with that. Okay, there are 2 bolts here, a nut here, crash bracket, a little silencer for the fuel pump. Okay, let's see if my little Ford tool works on this. Yeah, it will. So you push it in, wiggle this in, close your eyes because it's going to burst. Okay, it wasn't as bad. Could have kept my eyes open for that. Looks like another bracket here, and I can get the cover off of the intake manifold. I put a little plug in there so I don't drop stuff into the intake manifold. If you don't have a plug, use a rig. Okay, I'm gonna get the high pressure pump out of the way. This will blow some fuel on you too. Boy, that's under some pressure there. That's the line that's going to the injectors. So that makes sense why this thing was dieseling on. If I have an injector that's sticking, that totally makes sense. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a gasket on this one. Nice. There's your gasket holding it on. Now the line is. on, baby. Get off of there. Okay, it's down. I loosen up the line going to the rail too, so that'll let me move this line around a little bit. There we go. Now I can get this out. Yeah, I can reuse the gasket. I didn't pull the insulation down all the way just because it's right up there tight against the starter. And 13, it's right up there against the starter. And it would have been too much of a hassle, so I'm going to just leave it on there. It's starting to fall apart anyways. I don't think this stuff was made to come apart. Let's see. I hope there's not a bracket down there. Oh, there's one. Come on, baby. Oh, that's going to be a tight one. Hey, it'd help if I had the right size, right? Okay, let me go get what I need. That helps me have the right tool, huh? I'm going to iron it out in the reverse here. Okay. Feels loose. Are these captive bolts? Nope. So, I got 3 studs. Got to mark the studs. Okay. What do we got here going on? Oh, the limiters are loose in there. So be careful when you pull this off. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to try getting these limiters off right now. I don't need one of that falling into a port. What did it do? I cannot believe. What is that? It's just a little piece of plastic. They all have it. Makes no sense to me. Let's see. Okay, so far so good. Okay, I might have to take this starter off. Or, yeah, let me take a look at this, figure out what I need to do. I had to bend the pickup or the dipstick tube out of the way. This is the time to clean this before I pull injectors out. I don't want any loose debris falling into the injector pocket. Also be sure to stick some rags in your ports. And for the love of God, take them out before you put your manifold back on. We've all seen those videos on YouTube, the mechanics making fun of people. And there's some crusties on this, but for the most part, just get it cleaned up where the seal's going to be. I got a little more cleaning to do on that, but I got it done for the most part pretty good. Okay, where did my socket go? Oh, you're kidding me. I have no idea where it was. Well, it was a 13, so I keep extras. Now, hopefully this comes out pretty easy. It should. It's just O-rings on the injectors. Come on, there we go. Not seeing anything glaring wrong with it. Yeah, I'll save these, put these off the side. Okay, well, let's get the injectors on there. First thing I'm going to do is make sure there's no O-rings stuck in the cylinder head. Okay, he's got these clips on here. They're kind of a pain in the ass to get off. Since these are the old injectors, I'm going to pry on them a little bit more than I should. So I just got that side off, the screwdriver. And then I'm going to take a pair of vice grips. Come on, baby. Oh, boy. First one came off a lot easier, I'll tell you that. Come on. Jesus. Okay, so you are going to fight these. Well, yeah, that just came back on. The backside just came back on. So you are going to fight these. Okay, that side just came off. I think you're kind of getting the idea. There we go. I hope they go on easier than they came off, because I don't want to be breaking new injectors. Actually, these are rebuild injectors. There's some dude in the... Where the hell did that go? Oh, got it. Some dude in America that rebuilds these. It's going to be a little tight getting it out of here. And then the O-ring is going to stay inside of it. Pull that O-ring out, but don't scrape the bore. So I've got a few more of these to do. And these are kind of a pain to put in because this O-ring's a lot bigger than the bore. Clip your connector on first, and then I kind of line it up in the center and wiggle it around a little. And putting pressure on it. You might have to walk it around, but you do not want to tear this O-ring. Come on, baby, get in there. It's trying to go in. I'm sure they've got some sort of fancy tool to do this. Oh, it's almost in. It's holding up just a little bit on this side. Well, let me take this connector off, and I can move the injector around a little bit while I'm doing this. Yeah, it's wanting to come out. You know what I'm going to do? I don't think it would hurt. I put a little Viper lube on this. Stuff usually gets big things in the tight holes. Oh yeah, almost. There we go. Viper lube for big things into tight holes. And that left me enough room to where I could put that back on. And as for this looks pretty straightforward. Yeah, let me figure it out and then I'll show you. Okay, you got to take these clips off of the old injectors. Just kind of wiggle it back and forth. They're on there pretty tight. Okay, and then there's a slot that these fit in that I just took it out of. So pull the injector out just enough to get this on the slot. Okay. And then you can tap it in. 2 more to go. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. These are a pain in the ass to put on. And you gotta make sure that they're all the way on. Put them on the same way you took them off. That tab was facing the fuel line. And what I do is I get it up. It's kind of hard to show you how I do this, but I ride it high so that it doesn't drop right in. Okay. Actually, that was a lot easier in the first one. But if you can see, that one's not in all the way. So the injector is going to need to be moved a little bit to where it drops in. So make sure that all those tabs are encapsulated in that carrier. Now make sure that these brackets are down. This bracket or clip is down all the way. I had to kind of twist one of these injectors and tap on this with the back of the pair of pliers to get it to seat. You've got some cups on here. Make sure they're on. And now it's time to put this back together. Okay, there's little Teflon seals at the bottom of this, and I don't want to tear them putting them in. So I'm going to put it in by hand here instead of using my impact. Once these get over that initial lip going into the cylinder head, they should go in a lot easier. I mean, once I get over that lip, then I should be able to just push that rail on. So I'm just going to slowly walk this in. And keep my fingers crossed that I'm not tearing anything. Okay, it's down. Click. 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 Okay, it is torqued to the proper spec. Okay, I rustled this back in. The ideal way to put this in and out of here is with the dipstick tube not in. Before I let it fall back onto the studs, I made sure that each one of those seals was still encapsulated into the intake. And once again, just going to iron it back out. And yes, the rags are out of the holes. And I am going to use my highly calibrated torque wrench. Put all this back together. After doing this for 45 years, plus years, you get some muscle memory when it comes to torque and shit. Okay. I took the opportunity to put a new oil filter in it while I had it here. And it was way past due. Started collapsing on itself. Well, I'm not going to bore you with me putting all this back together. It's just going to go in the reverse order I took it apart. I'll see you in a bit. Well, not everything goes as planned. Which injector is it? I tore the seal on one of them. Son of a bitch. I'm going to say it's the one on number 1 or number 2. So I got to pull all this back apart again. See where this fuel's coming from. Great. Well, I put it all back together, got the leak fix, then it wouldn't run at all. I was getting codes for an ETF. Wanting to just put a new ETF on it. It's still got a miss in it. Check engine lights off. But my problem is still there. It runs on. So, new injectors, new ETF. Why is this running on? Somebody tell me, please. I'm done. This was frustrating as hell. And it was O-ring on the injector had rolled off of itself. Jeez, I'm getting a little slim pickings here. Gonna have to run back up to Minnesota. Well, I'll have this for now. So done. We'll go drink some beer with the neighbors.